Hey there, team. Carson Heady, author of Birth of a Salesman and the currently underway While the Salesman is Away and Other Stories. Today's topic, marketing thyself. Marketing is so vital in everything that we do, whether it's finding a job, whether it's promoting our business, whatever may have you. I will say this, I've learned so much about marketing just over the last couple of years of dabbling in things on my own. In my last work endeavor, one of the biggest things that I have been doing has been figuring out unique ways to reach a target audience. The key thing about marketing yourself is thinking about who do you want to see you. It's also about standing apart, standing out. I think so often we look at resumes that are cookie cutter programs. We look at different ways of applying to jobs online and things like that. And we think about it and we feel pretty good about ourselves. But what you don't understand is that you're up against 1, 2, 300, maybe 1,000, maybe 2,000 people for that one job. So you've got to be the best of the best. And it's not even about being the best of the best, but it's about standing out the best. So a lot of people put their resumes on special paper, or you may do a video resume, or you may do something like that. But the key thing is how are you going to get noticed? I've been on the receiving end of 700 resumes for one position. And the key thing is that the way that I look at things may be completely different than how another HR person may be. I may look at, personally, I don't care that much about resumes. I think your charisma, your charm, your personality, and what you've done in situations that are indicative of how you will act on a daily basis in my job posting, that's what speaks to me. But any other person is going to be completely different. Not everybody's like me, believe it or not. So the key thing that you've got to understand is you got to think about your target audience. Who do you want to see you? And how are you going to stand out? Now, me personally, one thing that I've learned over the last several years of my life is that, if you apply to jobs, I had a sabbatical a few years back. It's when I actually finished my book. And I applied to 1,600 jobs in a year. Now, don't get me wrong, I wasn't looking for entry-level positions. I wasn't looking for first-line or second-line management positions. I was looking for like a third-level management position, and I wanted something that was in sales, telecommunications, and I eventually did find that, got a better job than I had ever had in my career. But the key thing is that it took a long time for that to happen. I was doing a lot of things, foolish things, but things that I wouldn't have known were foolish. I was applying to jobs online. I didn't really spruce my resume up. I didn't have a lot of really good number examples. Rule number one with a resume is that the person reading that resume has to envision you doing those things for them. So you want to use a lot of numbers. Hey, I increased such and such by 1,000%, or I did this, or I did that. I built processes from scratch. I hired hundreds of people. I interviewed people. What are you going to do that's going to make you so good for that position? But the other part, and this is the bigger part, is getting it into the right hands. Marketing yourself. What's your product? Now, in a lot of instances, it's you. When I published my book, I was actually surprised. I had a publisher out of New York City, but I was surprised that not a lot of publishers really do a lot in the way of marketing. Obviously, they market to their main website, but you don't get a lot of marketing that's privy to you. That's when I had to learn how to use Twitter, how to use Facebook, how to use LinkedIn, how to use YouTube, these sorts of things. And by putting these together, I'm filming this in my home next to a poster of my book. But I'm doing these things and I'm going to reach a lot of people. And the reason why? Because quite frankly, I want to help other people find success. But what's your goal? What are you trying to accomplish? The key thing is putting yourself where these people are looking. So from my book standpoint, what do? Well, with Twitter, I try to link up with people who like sales authors, Jeffrey Gitomer, Grant Cardone, etc., so on and so forth. But what are you trying to do? Are you trying to market yourself? Are you marketing a product? If you're marketing a product, what are you marketing? Is it a retail product? Or do other people do what you were trying to sell? Steal their traffic. Go follow the followers of people that do that. Go to LinkedIn, join groups. I live in St. Louis, Missouri. So on LinkedIn, for instance, I joined a group called Linked Working St. Louis. I joined several different other St. Louis groups. There are tens of thousands of people in these groups. And what you want to do is you want to find people that are vice presidents, people that are CEOs, people that are high up level. See, one of the other mistakes that I think I made and anybody else would make is that you try to look for recruiters or HR type people. But the key thing is that they're not the decision maker. They're not the one who's ultimately going to decide, can this person bring all kinds of money and growth to my industry and to my business and to my department. It's going to be that vice president. It's going to be that higher up. Target them, and here's what you do. You send them a nice little message. You say, you send them the LinkedIn invite, and the way that you do that, you can LinkedIn invite anybody who's in the same group as you. So join a group with a lot of members, target these high-level executives, and just send them a nice little note. Instead of the generic, I would like to add you to my network, but your experience, your know-how, and your career really spoke to me, and I thought that networking with you could be mutually beneficial. I think I could learn a lot from you. One thing about salespeople is they like to have their ego stroked, believe it or not. So nice little things about, hey, your experience leads me to believe that you would be a very valuable resource in my network. I'd be honored if you would add me to your LinkedIn network. Leave it at that. Sign your name. If you send out 100 of those, I'd say probably 50 people will accept. Next step, a couple days down the road, I'd wait 2 to 3 days. It's kind of like the movie Swingers, right? So wait a couple days, send another message. Subject line, advice. The body of the message, short and sweet to the point. Put their name, make it personal. First off, I hope this note finds you well. The intent of this message is to request some advice from you. I'd be honored if we could sit down for 10 to 15 minutes so I could get some guidance from you on how to transition into your industry. I have some time available X date, Monday at 1 p.m. Does this work for you? Hope all is well, and have a wonderful day. I look forward to our next correspondence. Something professional, something short, sweet, and to the point. One of the biggest mistakes that a lot of people make is asking for jobs. Reaching out to the network and asking for jobs. It's intimidating. I've worked in sales management for a long time. I have so many people contact me. Hey, do you know about any jobs? What about jobs? Jobs. You get to the point, it's like, half these people, it's like you love them to pieces, but it's like, no, you don't have anything. Or they wouldn't be just right for the position, but you don't have the time in the day to call every one of them and sit through a 20, 30-minute conversation while they tell you every single thing about their life, and then to tell them, you know what, man, I hate to tell you, but I just don't see you as a fit for this individual position. Well, what do you mean I'm not a fit? So the thing is these guys, no executive wants to sit down and just have everybody bombard them about jobs. But again, it's the ego stroke. I'd be honored if we could just sit down for 10, 15 minutes. I will make time in my schedule. I will make myself available. And I will come to your place of employment 10, 15 minutes. That's nothing. And the reason why, think about it this way. If you were an executive, or if you are, would you spare 10 to 15 minutes for somebody who contacted you and was very polite and professional? I would. I have. I do. So the main thing that you've got to remember is be unique. Do something that stands out. I've tried this method as well, and works like a charm. In fact, this is how you uncover the hidden opportunity, the ones that are not posted on a job site. You could find out about things that that haven't been advertised, or maybe it's a position that they've thought about doing, but they've never really found the right person. You might be it. You might stumble upon somebody. You may go talk to somebody, and it may be a complete and utter dead end. Or whenever you go there and you ask them at the end, the key thing is when you go to these things, you want to ask them a few intelligent questions. You basically want to come in and ask for advice. What types of opportunities might exist in this field for somebody like me or with my background? What types of challenges do you think I would face transitioning into your industry? Because the key thing is you're selling. Everything's selling. You want to figure out what their objection is to somebody like you. They don't think you could transition into their industry, or they think it'd be exceptionally challenging, or there'd be a huge learning curve. You need to know that so you can overcome that objection. Oh, well, absolutely. This would be a different industry for me. And I completely, wholeheartedly respect the challenge that I would face transitioning into this industry. However, this is how I would do it. I would study all the time. I would bring my stuff home. I would take any training classes you guys would have to offer, and I would do everything I can to bridge that. But look at my transferable skills. Look at what I've done in these other industries, and that's why I know I can be so so valuable here? What other challenges do you think would arise? Who else do you think I should talk to that would be very valuable, that might be able to give me some additional advice? And a lot of times they will turn you on to somebody. If they like you, they'll turn you on to somebody who you would be a benefit to. How good do you think that makes them feel when they can call their buddy or their network friend and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to send you so-and-so. They impressed the heck out of me today. They came into my office, sat down, we talked a little bit, and they impressed the heck out of me. You should really take a look at this person. The key thing is that's how you stand out. No recruiter or human resources person or executive wants to look through 700 resumes. You think I look through 700 resumes when I'm filling a position? Heck no. And that's why a lot of these businesses have ways of taking people out. You know, they look for certain keywords on resumes, and they have systems that do that for them. You're up against a computer. It's like you facing the T-1000 in Terminator. You think you got a chance? I don't think so. Come with me if you want to live. Come with me if you want your career to live. The bottom line is you don't stand a chance if you go up against 700 other people. I don't care how good you are. It's the odds. On any given day, one player, David, can beat Goliath. So the key thing is why run that risk? Do everything you can to set yourself apart from the fold. Do things that are unique. Trust me, not everybody is doing these types of things. So those are the types of things that you want to do to get ahead. You can line up 5, 6, probably 10 of these meetings a day. If I send out 100 LinkedIn invites to people that are high-level executives, and I get 50 that accept my butter them up approach, I would say probably 20 of them will meet with me, if not more. So it really just comes down to that numbers game. If you send out 100 in a day or a week and you set up 20 meetings, okay, you could spread that out easily over a week, 2 weeks, a month. So the key thing is it's all up to you. It's all up to you how you want to approach that. But marketing yourself is vital. I don't care what you're doing. Marketing yourself is vital. When it comes down to marketing, the main thing to remember is who's your target audience, what do they want to see, how can you get in front of them in a unique way and make yourself stand out? Because the thing is they have a lot of different options. It's kind of like when I wrote a sales book. How many thousands upon thousands of sales books have been written since Adam and Eve walked the earth? A lot. But the key thing was that I wanted to do something unique. So I wrote a sales book inside of a novel about the main character. It's never been done before. It's a lot of fun. It's very informative. It's a great read. But the thing is that's how I got that to stand out. What are you going to do to stand out? Thank you very much. All the best, and best of luck in all of your marketing endeavors. Thank you.